What's up, fellow collectors? P-Rockzilla here for another review, and today's gonna be a special one, I'm telling you. I know I said it a lot of times, but this really is a special one because this is officially my first Marvel Hot Toys figure. I do have two other figures coming soon, but I had to make sure this was gonna be the first one because I had to represent the Boricuas, the Puerto Rican people, as we finally have a Hispanic main character in the Marvel, and it is a Spider-Man, one of my favorite characters ever. Spider-Man and Wolverine are my two favorite Marvel characters that are, more known, but I had to get this guy, man. I really want to get the one from Into the Spider-Verse, but unfortunately that's not available just yet. So, of course, I had to go with the video game version, the next step up. I love this game. I got the PS5 for Christmas, and that was the game that came with it. And oh man, like just playing the game, and when you go to the bodegas and you see the little Puerto Rican flag everywhere, it just like it gave me it warmed my soul, man. It did. It's like finally, not only do we have a character in the movies and in the comics, but in video games too. And the game is fun. The soundtrack in that game is awesome. The graphics are awesome. Just that game is just a masterpiece. Doesn't help? Does it help that we have a Boricua in there? Of course it does. But anyways, people, I can't wait to get my hands on this guy and finally test the posing on these Hot Toys figures. This is one reason I kind of held back on my MCU purchases or even Marvel, any kind of Marvel purchases from Hot Toys, because I'm a poser and I don't like doing museum poses if I don't have to. So I can't wait to try this guy out. So, of course, as always, let's get the review started. Dale. First, we're going to take a quick look at the box. You have that cool art right there from Miles right there. I think that was a supposed part in the video game. Got the little power effects there. You got the little, some kind of, like, the little emblems and stuff here. I like that design right there. You get all the legal information back here. You get a little side profile of Miles right there, my boy. Then you get the Miles Morales right there, the name underneath here. Same thing here, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. And the same thing on the top. So let's go ahead and just take the slip cover off so you can take a quick look at the box underneath here. So once you remove the slip cover, this is the box you're introduced with. So let's move this sideways so we get a better look at the figure. And there you go. So as always, let's get him out the box. So when you get that slip cover off, this is what you're treated with. So let's get this box out the way. And you are treated with an allotment of accessories and pieces. So the top layer has this one clamshell here that has the special effects and different hand swap outs, and then like the little spider web wrist points. So we're gonna have him shooting the webbing. That's nice. So then go ahead and get this here, and let's just take a look at what's inside the box. So as you can see here, you have the figure, you have his winter clothes, the backpack, the separate eyes, the cat, the backpack part, earmuffs, some webbing, more webbing, extra joints, and underneath them you have the stand with the base. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this figure out so you can take a look at all the accessories in detail. Here is Miles Morales, Boricua, Morena, Boricua, Spider-Man, displayed with all his accessories, and man, that's a lot of accessories. This is amazing, man. I can't wait to mess around. I mean, this is probably be a long, not on camera, we're gonna do it off camera, but this is gonna be a long time for me to mess around with this figure, because it comes with so many things. I want to try every single thing out. So just real quick, as always, let's go over the character first, the figure. And here we have Miles. And I gotta say, this feels pretty good. I collect some Mezco figures, and this kind of resembles a little bit of the material they use on their Black Suit Spider-Man. Maybe not as, like if you see here, it has like little ripples in there. Let me see if I can get my brightness a little bit higher for you guys so you get that ripples in there. There we go. So you can see the little ripples in there. And then this is the clear pleather or plastic parts right here. So this looks just like Miles in the video game. It feels good in hand. I like the dark color. I thought it was going to be like a lighter red, but it's actually a darker red. You see you got the spider emblem in the back. And then we got a little bit patterns going down through here. We got the red around the boots. It actually looks like, oh, look, they are sneakers. So the zipper on the side. All right, so let's go over articulation real quick. So as for the head, He can move that much further up. He can look down about that much. His head can kind of tilt side to side. Like, what are you looking at? He can go full 360. The hands, now this is the part I'm really interested in, because I know a lot of people say you got to be careful with the creasing there. So you got to try to massage that out, kind of like that. So let's see how far you can go. So you can actually do a Y pose. Now this is going to be my test here, because I want to make sure I push this figure to the limit. So you can do the Y pose, almost, you know, TY pose. The hands can bend in this way. You got somewhat double jointed elbows, so you can almost go all the way in. Let's put that down. Does he have any bicep? Yep, he has bicep swivel. You can feel it there. You just gotta be careful with the suit. Let's go bring that down. You can hear the ratchets on the hand. I mean the arms and the shoulders. The elbows are not ratchet, just regular joint. He has articulation to wrists, and this, the web slinger, is detachable. So you take the hands out, you can take that piece out right there. All right, so let's do the back bend so you can move. Ooh, he has a good, oh, yo, whoa, we go way back. There's gonna be a limbo king right here. All right, so you can go forward even further. So Miles does not miss abs day. That's good right there. So let's go ahead and move the legs. So the legs, I know you got to be careful with the pants right here not to rip it. It's kind of slippery here. So he can go far about that much. No Hogan boot for this Miles, unless I want to rip the costume. So no Hogan boot there. The knees can bend about that much. Yep, gotta be careful with the suit. As you can see already, just messing around with it. You do see some creases already, but they should just iron out on their own if you put them back in the neutral pose. And then for the ankles, you have twisting at the ankle. And you got ankle pivot going down that far. And then you can go up this far. And he does have the little treads underneath the shoes. Let's see how far he can do a split. So let's try to put the hands up real quick. And let's see. See, that's going to be the problem right there, the split. Because look at the suit. I don't want to rip that right there. So when you do it, try to push the suit up or push it down a little bit, I guess. But you do have a lot of tension there in the crotch area. So you could go up, but I think you go up one more click, but I don't want to push it too far and take a chance of ripping that. So I'm already seeing my limitations with these figures. Kind of a bummer, but it's all right. I like the way it looks so far. So I don't know for sure when I get it into actual poses. And there we go. There we have Miles. And then quickly, just real quick, the eyes are detachable. So they're like magnetic. So you just basically get your fingernail in there. Oh, maybe not. There we go. So you do take the eyes can come out that way. And then you can swap out with the other eyes they have over there. So let's put Miles down. And as you see, you have the different eyes right there, different expressions. You have the webbing. This is for where he's doing web slinging. You have the webbing so when you make contact with the surface or enemy. Then you have a bunch of little other webbings here in this little styrofoam rack. The book bag is very detailed. You can actually feel, it actually feels like one of these, what's the Swiss book bags I normally have. Same color pattern too. This feels pretty solid. There might be something in there because I know this comes off right here. Yep, see, so that piece comes off. And there is some foam in there, so you'll take that foam out and put the cat in there. And then you can swap it out with those two pieces there. So you have that piece there to keep it closed, and you have the other piece over here to have the open backpack, and then you have the spider cat here. I remember getting this in the video game. Didn't use it too much. It was pretty cool, the animation that you actually see the cat moving around in the backpack. He goes in sometimes, comes out. So that's cool animation. But I never used that suit in the video game much. So he has his earmuffs real quick. Same thing too. You see little patterns on there. He has this little uniform right here. Leg warmer, scarf, the hat. And then we have the other hands over here. The special effects. These will go around his hands and his body. These are the special web slinger ones that you would use if you're doing web slinging. And different hands. Web slinging hand right here, real quick. Gripping hand, and the only two differences between these two hands right here. One's a closed fist, which are dapping hands, and one is closed fist but meant to hold the webbing. All right, guys. So there's all the accessories. Quick in-depth description of them. Here's the base real quick. It says Miles Morales. I'll take that plastic off when I put the base into effect. All right, so let's go ahead and get a size comparison. Miles Morales standard default pose, wondering how to get his stockings on, his leg warmers on. So while he's trying to figure that out, let's go ahead and get a good size comparison. Let's go ahead and bring in some Hot Toys figures in here. And let's go ahead and start off with the Hot Toys Star Wars Kylo Ren. Get some black on black action there. Black and red. So there we have him with Kylo Ren. And let's go ahead and get in another Hot Toys figure. Let's go ahead and get into Hot Toys 501st Trooper. And there we have the 501st Trooper. I'm kind of a little bit back more. And last but not least, let's go ahead and bring in the 3-0 Camo Storm Shadow. There goes the Camo Storm Shadow. So it's just adjust this a little bit more so you can see the true height of these figures. And there we go. So of course Miles is a younger teenager, late teens person. So of course he's going to be smaller than most of these figures here. He's actually pretty much almost the same size as the 501st, but not by much. That helmet gives him a little bit more height. But as you can see, this is how Miles will fit into your collection. So all right, let's go ahead and get some final poses and final thoughts. All right, so I was a little scared and a little bit nervous trying to get this guy posed, but here I have him somewhat of a dynamic pose. I was trying to kind of mimic the pose at the end of the game when he's swinging through with Spider-Man, but I just couldn't get that left leg kind of bend the right way because it kept pulling on the suit. And then the same thing with the left arm. I couldn't get a little bit higher because it kept pulling on the suit. So this is the best attempt to capture that pose. And I gotta say, man, this is an articulated figure. Now, the only thing that's kind of negative about that is that you can't really keep it in this pose for too long. Like, if I have this in this pose for, I say, maybe like a week, I guarantee there may be some kind of damage to the suit. So it's kind of a little bummer for me because, like I said, I love to pose my figures when I have my display. Like, my Mezco figures are all dynamically posed. I rarely have any of them in museum pose. So this guy may be more likely, you know, this is my only Marvel figures right now. So I'll probably just keep him at my desk. And then just keep, you know, messing around with him, changing the poses around. Then when I get more Spider-Man figures, I'm going to go ahead and add them to my display. And then more than likely, I'll have them somewhat, not like a complete museum pose, but kind of like a somewhat dynamic museum pose, like a little mixture of two, or just kind of swap it around. But this guy feels good in your hands. I love the suit, the way the suit feels, and all the accessories comes with. Nothing was hard to put on. The book bag was easy to swap out. The cat was easy to put in. The eyes are easy to swap out. The wrist pegs and then the web shooting wrist joints. Everything was easy to swap out. I had no issues with it at all. I do feel a lot of tension with the suit. So, you know, you got to be careful when you pose this figure around. Messing around with the suit to try to get him into decent poses. He does hold the poses very good without the stand also. The backpack was easy to put on. The cat, I like the cat. Like I said, I didn't like it too much in the game. Definitely gonna keep it on him during the, you know, my final pose when I have him my display. Eventually, I like the effects of the little shock lightning effects that he has with his powers. I know they normally go around his waist and stuff, but I try to do a little something different. Try to have him around his legs. But I'm impressed, man. I mean, I'm happy this figure came out good. I can't wait for the Into the Spider-Verse version of Miles Morales. And now I'm super excited for the classic suit Spider-Man one. That should be coming in soon too. So I can't wait for that too. So I can finally have my classic suit Spider-Man along with my Miles Morales Spider-Man from the game. I know I should get the video game version, but like I said, I just want to keep it to one Spider-Man. That's all I need. I have one Miles Morales, one Spider-Man. Now Into the Spider-Verse Miles is going to be a different character in general. That's a different thing. That's from the actual movie. But I love this figure, man. I'm going to mess around with some more, get some more poses going on. I need to get used to this. I need to get used to the suit. I need to get used to the limitations on the articulation. I need to practice on see what I can get away with, what I can't get away with, and how long the suit can hold certain poses before it can actually cause damage to the costume. Don't want to cause too much damage, but I just want to make sure, you know, I get practice and get more experience handling these figures. it's just, you know, the dynamic posing thing is real big for me, so it kind of hinders me on kind of getting more of the other Marvel lines outside of Spider-Man, just because like I can't see myself having too many figures where I'm posing. But this is a good figure. If you're on the fence for this figure, I would say pick it up. If you're debating between this and the Spider-Verse Miles, I honestly don't have the other I don't have the Spider-Verse one just yet, but I can say for a fact that I know I'm gonna like that one more than this one, as I enjoyed that movie, and the way the figure looks from the promo pictures, it was just like it came out from the movie. So I'm looking forward to that. But this is an awesome starting piece for my Marvel collection in the Hot Toys line. I'm happy I got it. No regrets. It just feels good in hand. I like the posing. I just like everything about it. Limited on because of the suit, but everything else I do enjoy about this, and I love all the accessories it comes with. Like I said, I'm gonna be a while messing around with this figure, finally getting down to my final pose. It's gonna take some practice, but hey, practice makes perfect, baby. You can only get better if you keep doing it. So I'm gonna keep messing around with it, and then from there, like I said, I'll get better at knowing my limitations. So as always, people, I hope you enjoyed the review. Please hit that subscribe, like button, click the bell notification, and as always, keep collecting. Be good, stay safe, dale.